Hello everyone, this is Verde, and today we're playing Boosted Survivors. As you can see, I did not random this time, and there is a reason for that. The reason being that fire is weak. And what does that mean? Well, basically, it means that it means that I don't care about size. It means that basically let's go for statistics for a second. I will tell you about something called survivor bias, right? Uh, there is a very specific image that goes through the internet, which is a plane with several spots on it, and those spots are where it quote unquote gets shot the most, right? And those spots are weirdly avoiding the engine and avoiding like crucial parts of the thing, right? The issue is that image does not represent where the plane gets shot the most, but where the plane gets shot the most and comes back, you know? The thing is, you probably see a lot and a lot and a lot of clear videos and rain videos and storm videos on this channel, but you don't see that many fire videos. That's because they're random. And when a video is too short, I usually discard it. Not because, oh, I don't want to look like I played that game not good enough. Honestly, I am very bad at this game. I'm not good at games that require me to dodge things, really. So, but anyway, I discard those videos mostly because they are not fun to watch, you know? Why would you want to watch a 5-minute video where I lose at the video game? Where's the fun in that, right? Nothing here really helps us, so let's reroll. Nothing here really helps us. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Let's go for the orb, and we are going to go for fire. Don't get me wrong there. The orb helps a little bit, increases our damage, question mark. You know, it was the least bad thing. At least we got a very high projectile count, which is something. We still basically have nothing on firewall. And at this point, I wouldn't even go for Cursed Firewall, because that is a little bit too dangerous. So, honestly, I will probably die here. You know? The thing is, I will be playing Firewall until I am able to. And I'll tell you guys how many attempts that took. This is the 5th attempt to get a Firewall build. So that's cool. You know? This is the 5th attempt. Perhaps this attempt does not go live either. You know? And honestly, I'm just not uploading that because it would be frustrating to watch. You know? Oh. Oh god, that is tempting. If I got if I that is tempting. If I got a green one here, I might have gone for it for Cursed Firewall. The good thing about Cursed Firewall is that regardless of your luck, you're getting it if you get the requirements. Its weight is way too high, so every time you get the requisite, which is a very complicated requisite to have, you get the boost. So you're the legendary me, which is nice, which is very nice. However, the thing is, you need to have less than 32 speed, which probably won't have. If I get a green speed downgrade, I will pick it, and let's see what there takes us. Right, where that takes us. Yes. However, if I don't, well, I won't be going for Cursed Firewall. In some of these attempts, actually most of these attempts, I went for Cursed Firewall, so perhaps that's what's wrong with me, you know? Because Cursed Firewall is a lot funnier than, it is very much better than regular Firewall, you know? The thing is, I am not sure I will be able to survive with 12 if I remove my speed right now. If I reduce my speed. And we don't really even need to keep our speed down at that point, you know? And honestly, having it at 28, which is the number we can get by reducing it, is not that hard. If we somehow get rogue, which I don't think we will, we only need to really reduce it once. It gets us to 31, which is a lot nicer number to go for. I will not be picking that speed up over there if I have a say in it. Yeah, I will not be picking speed ups just in case I get a green speed downgrade. Right? Right. Okay, I'm not that tanky, which is another issue right now, because as you can probably see, Firewall is not that good at dealing damage to masses, to groups of enemies. For singular enemies, it is very much good. It is very good. But to groups of them, not really. So let's actually... we are 3 waves until the boss, so let's try to reduce our speed right now. That is a good place to reduce our speed. To perhaps get Cursed Firewall. You know? Those kinds of things. The thing is, Cursed Firewall by itself won't be able to carry us that long, you know. Cursed Firewall by itself is not that strong, you know. I would place it at being weaker than, I don't know, Rain, and Clear, and honestly most of the things in the game. And Storm, and... mostly because there isn't a KV about how fast the fire increases. By this point, I have recorded so many of these videos, these firewall videos, that I don't know if I have told you what Cursed Firewall does. It basically makes it so that your fire, instead of ticking downwards, your fire from Firewall, instead of ticking downwards, it ticks upwards instead, you know? Which sounds very strong until you realize that most enemies, once hit with fire, will die regardless, you know? Because fire is a very strong way of dealing damage, you know? So perhaps we won't be taking Cursed Firewall, that's fine. No Cursed Firewall for me this time. You know? The thing is, most enemies which touch fire, especially in the late part of the game, will die. There is another thing about Cursed Firewall that is, I believe, I could be wrong about that, but I believe Cursed Fire ticks quicker than regular fire. You know? Which is a damage increase. But that's just belief. I believe it takes 4 times per second, as fire takes 2 times per second. But I could be very much misremembering things. So this takes from 4... okay, this is 4... this is better, fire damage, right now. Even though usually fire modifiers, fire stacks are somewhat better. You know? It says over there modifier stacks instead of fire stacks because Cursed Fire is not fire, I think? I don't know. really know why it says modifier stacks instead of fire stacks. You know, but it says. And the thing is, there are some enemies, such as that boss, they are very, very, very much not smart. That boss stepped on way too many fires. So, like that tanky enemy, basically we can lure our enemies into stepping into more fires. So if there is a class that is able to go through it, is this one, right? I can get 42 armor right now. So, okay. Yeah, if there is a class that is able to carry us, it is Elementalist. Look at how little damage we are taking right now. You know? Yeah, Elementalist might do the trick. Really, I have not gotten an Elementalist in any of the previous attempts. Yeah. In some of them, more than one actually, I actually got offered Elementalist, but I took Cursed Firewall instead. Yeah, not a great idea in general. I could go for Cursed Firewall right now. I am tanky, I can do it. Okay. Yeah, I am tanky, I can do it, and I said I would do it, so I will. I have no options there. But surviving with this amount of speed is a very tricky thing to do. It will require some luck involved. Perhaps we are going to see an attempt 6. You know? Perhaps. The thing is, what makes fire that bad as a spell compared to other spells? Well, there are a few reasons. Not even a single one. I don't care for modifier stacks that much right now. I need more tankability. Well, there are a few reasons. First reason, it is very bad at dealing with groups. Because it has 1 pierce, so it can hit 2 enemies perfectly. And then the third enemy in a line or in a group will not be taking damage. You can probably expect why. You can probably figure out why that isn't that strong. You know? We need to avoid right now speed pop-ups because they cost us 2 boosts, one for undoing it and one for... Actually, just one for undoing it. You know? We need to avoid picking speed things. Which is... I will conserve my rerolls just in case of putting. Right? Dash charges here are very much useful. Considering some... This wave is a very easy wave. Usually. But right now, it might not be. Yeah, it was a very easy wave. Okay, let's remove our... Actually, let's get a third dash charge. Because as you can see, I am moving slowly. You know, I am moving very, very slowly. And I won't be removing the speed upgrade right now. Even though... Actually, I won't be removing it at all. Because, well, if I get the speed thing, I need to be able to undo it. Which costs me a boost. Costs me. And... yeah. See, that thing over there, I should not pick it. And I won't even throw a firewall at those enemies yet, because those ranged enemies are enemies that I can basically avoid killing, you know, until that thing disappears. There we go. More region is needed. I don't really care that much for fire damage right now. So, if we survive to the boss or to pudding, if the game is a little bit... another speed boost. Without getting any speed boosts, we will be getting Cursed Firewall at the next thing. Certainly. And there isn't really any reason to not take it, because the Cursed Firewall basically allows us to grab some speed back, you know? Because we currently have a problem, which is we cannot upgrade speed because of the Cursed Firewall that we haven't gotten yet, you know? It is not like Elder Vampirus that you cannot upgrade a region because of something that you have gotten, you know? It's not like Paladin that you cannot upgrade speed because of some boosts you already have, you know? We cannot upgrade speed because of some boosts we don't have yet, which is frightening. You know, modifier stacks are not that useful for Cursed Firewall, but for a regular firewall they very much is. And we need to survive right now, not after. Even though Cursed Firewall doesn't really means that we won the video game, it just means that we have some more chance of actually winning it. Pudding here would be very much nice video game, but knowing my luck, Pudding will only be here after, I don't know, wave 73, you know? Pudding only shows up, at least for me, early in very OP runs that I don't really need Pudding early. But there is probably a observation bias. What's the name of it? Confirmation bias. That I only really make my observation once it fits my it fits my thing. So I would really like that extra boost, and I will go a great length in order to acquire it. Okay, I got it. The thing is, when you have this low of a speed, it is usually very hard to get what you're looking to get those pickups, you know. I do not know what that pickup is, and thankfully it wasn't speed, you know. Thankfully, armor great, region great, was a level up, I suppose. I got very concerned for a second. There was a thing right under my health bar. And there is, oh no, speed upgrade. I almost took it by instinct, you know? Why am I not using my fire thing? I have no idea. My fire thing kills most things that it hits already, I think. Kill some things. Actually, I will take that double damage. Just because I don't like to suffer. And I want to clear these waves a little bit fast. Same for the other one, but I will wait for this one to be close to expiring before taking it. And I have so much armor and health region right now that I can almost tank these enemies. I see what you're trying to do, that video game, but I'm not taking it. I'm not falling for your traps. Regarding of how juicy they might seem. Not falling for them. Not falling. You might have some very convenient bait for me waiting. Very succulent bait. But I will not take it. Because I am a man that trusts my faith. My faith that I will be able to get the cursed firewall. And I really wanted that boost. I risked a little bit too much getting that boost. I hope I don't die because of myself getting that boost. Because even though I am a man of faith, I am not letting my willness to survive get over my greed, am I? While I am a man of faith, I am also a man of great greed. That will risk death for a singular boost, no questions asked. So that enemy is dead. That boss. Yes. Firewall is, as I said before, very good at dealing with bosses. Sadly, this game is not about bosses, you know? This game is about masses. And against masses, well, it is somewhat mediocre. If I would be somewhat... I forgot the name of it. I did not get Cursed Firewall? Even... oof. That hurts. That hurts, you know? Critical is useless. Emerald Eye, very questionable. Oof. Let's get Gaia Thorns. Let's get my projectile count up to very high number. And that's what I get. I wasted my reroll earlier. I got this thing, by the way, just because it deals a little bit of knockback whenever I hit some enemies. And that knockback might actually save me. I don't know. I have gotten some very bad boosts. Some very bad legendaries in general in this run. But that's fine. This is almost a Gaia Thorns build, you know? Given how weird it is. Yeah, let's upgrade the modifier stacks since we are not getting Cursed Firewall soon. I will not be taking that speed there, out of spite, really. Not that speed. See what you're trying to do, game. Not falling for your temptations. I am going to move slowly until you curse me. Until you blast me with your curse. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, at least my firewall is somewhat strong and I am somewhat tanky, so it is somewhat hard to die. And I said somewhat way too many times in a sentence. Like, the issue being is that this group of waves, which I would call, I don't know, group of waves, yes. This group of waves is where the fire enemies start to up to spawn, you know, to appear. So I have a very specific issues with those fire enemies, which is, well, they are very good at dealing with tanky builds. And as you can see, right now I am just a tanky build with a little bit of fire sprinkled in, you know. Oh, an extra boost, like that. I like that a lot, actually. So let's go to the other side of the map right now to get the double damage. I will not be taking those ugly speed ups that the game offers us, but I'll be taking every extra boosts that show up because I'll need them. Yeah, let's double our charges. That's great. Let's increase our region a little bit more. I am managing to take very little damage for these waves. Because I'm scared. At this point, Holy Firewall is not that bad. Because... well... yeah, the center is safe. I need to make my enemies walk. Walk through the fire with me. So let's make my enemies walk. For a run that I have this little move speed, I am doing a very good job at avoiding damage in general. You know, I am doing a very questionable strat that makes my enemies walk through the map more than myself, more than me. Okay, these enemies are somewhat fast, so my previous strategy does not work that well against them. However, oh, the center is, it is no longer poisoned. Fired, I don't know the... it is no longer on fire. We can cross that center. Excuse me. Yeah, let's get 68 region and a mint pudding, which will probably not take that long to die, I hope. Mint pudding is effectively already dead, yes. I am doing some work in order to avoid damage with this much speed. Honestly, I didn't even know I was capable of doing such dodges. Perhaps I'm getting good at the video game. Yeah, that's not 100 health region. That's a little bit too much for my... yeah, let's... the thing about distance here, it doesn't really mean distance. It means that... it just means that... how much time with the firewall stays, though, in the playing field, I suppose. Which, honestly, I'm doing very good for a... you shall not tempt me, video game. I will take firewall things. I could do a fire sword build and have much more luck than I currently have. But what we don't want to do here is stand our ground. We need to constantly be in movement. That way, our enemies don't have a lot of shots aimed at us. You know? And of course, I did get mint pudding instead of regular pudding. I will not be commenting on that. Slugger, huh? Yeah. Sadly, I did have to cheese it. Oh yeah, we can just walk through the box. We have enough health for that. We might not have enough tankability in general to be in the bog forever. But we are very capable of taking a few dips here and there, and it helps us pushing our enemies away. We could do that to deal with the slugger if we did so desire. At this point, the firewall is able to deal some damage. Not a lot. There we go. Let's get Curse of the Firewall, even though piercing projectile here would be better in terms of what it does in general. I don't think charges are that interesting, that important here. I would prefer fire damage, yes. So this group of waves is where the snipers start to show up. And as you can probably tell, the snipers are very much a threat to our existence. in the given state. We have very little to do against them, and they have very much to do against us. We can use dashes in order to get to them. You know? We have plenty of dashes. But the thing is, we don't have plenty of movement speed to avoid them. I suppose. Yeah. As you can probably see, this is a very much grim endeavor. But we have Cursed Firewall, which is nice. We can now pick speed upgrades. But honestly, given my luck, they will just cease to appear now. Let's spam this a little bit. A regular boost over there, but I'll take the refresh first, so I can... You need to prioritize the regular boost over the double damage, but I actually was able to get both. That is a lot of damage that the firewall is dealing right now. The main issue is that the firewall is not able to hit enemies that are very far away from me. There we go. Projectile count is very nice. Fire damage, yeah. I should have upgraded speed there, but I am greedy. And speed can be upgraded via other means, right? I should have upgraded speed right there. I didn't, because I was greedy. And perhaps that will be the end of me. Perhaps. Perhaps it won't be the end of me, because I got Elementalist. And Elementalist fixes everything, right? Look at that tankability. Look at the tankiness. You know? I can just slowly walk the... You know, even the Gaia's Thorns damage is something right now. Yeah, it is something. Not gonna lie. Not that big of a thing, but it's something. Let's get more armor, yes. That is precisely what we needed. Bats, excuse me. Could you not? Yeah, I was misremembering, I believe. Now, yeah, I believe fire damage does indeed takes a little bit faster with Cursed Firewall. Not that much, but a little bit. So taking a Cursed Firewall hit is a guaranteed that they will die. The thing is, I don't really like that projectile duration here is called distance. That is not that great. Let's remove this thing. We do not want to rely on Gaia's Thorn in order to deal damage, even though that would be a better idea than what we are currently doing right now. It would be worse against bosses, but we are not dealing with bosses 99% of the time, right? And we are good enough to deal with bosses. Let me get those upgrades. I like that my projectile count is high enough so I can hit enemies to my sides when I do this. And the pillar enemies stand no chance whatsoever, which is nice. Like, the damage is very high, I should pick speed here, but I won't. I will just not. Yeah. I should. If my goal is to survive, you know. If my goal is to survive, there is a few things that I need to do. This is a melee only build, and it is as hard as you would expect, right? Thankfully, a speed upgrade has appeared, and I will be peaking that. Yes. This is very hard video game. I won't be getting more health. The sniper, the dreaded sniper only scenario has appeared. The sniper only wave. It's not that bad really. The melee only wave was a little bit worse. I have 34 speed, and and the sniper only wave is not the worst of them. That says a lot about my ability to clear enemies. Does it? Like, I can just walk towards them and hit them in the face repeatedly, and things will be fine. I have no chance of dying, really. I probably have some chance of dying, but as long as I avoid some of the hits, I will be fine. Let's get that boost. Hello, snipers. The main issue there is that I need to touch you with the fire thing. I could upgrade speed, but I won't. I will upgrade, however, projectile count. Thankfully, the dash charges are saving me here and there. Now, there is one thing that I need to avoid above everything else, which is taking these fire things, because enough of them could very much kill me. Yeah. Enough of them are very much able to kill me. But anyway, I think I'm surviving the next boss, the spitter. What do you guys think? I'm probably surviving the next boss. Yay. There's some progress. Perhaps I can get a cool legendary, such as piercing project. Oh, thank you, video game. You're being a mother to me right now. I can move. I'm free. I am basically invincible, given how much speed I currently possess. That boss is dead. It just doesn't know it yet. Yeah. Perhaps it knew it. I am free, and I'm fast, and I can speed through the Alps of this game. Yeah. I'll get stunning rolls. Because I don't really know why did I pick stunning rolls. Actually, I have an idea. More distance would be nice, but I prefer more projectiles. More distance would be nice. Yeah, 66 projectile counts. That is almost we need 2 boosts in order to close the circle, which is great. I might die here. This wave is very hard for me. That is why I'm totally ignoring the bog. Actually, the more bog there is in oh, the knockback is actually being very much detrimental to me right now. One more thing in projectile count and we get the full circle. And then we are removing projectile count. I need more dashes, please. Pudding, finally! Where have you been, my guy? I needed you for the whole run. Because this thing very much relies on legendaries in order to work. And I have gotten none. Stunning Rose is very nice. So, what do we have here? Multi-projectile is useless for us right now. Vampirism could be useful, but we are tanky enough. Minus cooldown, however, is very, very useful. What do we want? More charges. The thing is, enemies are bumped away from us for enough time that they usually die with the stunning rolls. Like, they are stunned. I would love Blasphemous Fire, which is an upgrade for Cursed Fire, which is as strong as you might have. I have not told you what it does. How would you estimate how strong it is? It basically is... Oh, finally. It basically is... Makes it so that your fire things can damage projectiles. Yeah. And enemies. You know? If I would change Cursed Firewall in a way, I would make it so that it has like 10 pierce instead of 2. Instead of 1. Or perhaps 3 pierce instead of 1, you know? For the Cursed variant. Because it is Eternal Fire. Why does it go away when it touches something, you know? It doesn't make any sense. Just saying. Oh, snipers. Let's pretend they do something against us. An extra boost. Nice. The thing is, boosts right now don't do much. It doesn't mean that they are useless, but they won't, like, fix our issues that we currently have. And what issues we currently have? Well, first of all, even though our distance is very much high, our thing has a very limited range. Its range is very, very small. And the thing is, most ranged enemies lie outside of that range. So we needed some way of getting enemies to us. Perhaps lightning dash? Lightning in general? That could do the trick. Because... yeah. Another issue that we currently have... we don't need projectile count, and stun duration is something that this class upgrades, I believe. And because of that, ranged enemies, they are somewhat of a threat to us. Not the biggest issue, really, because we can just walk and set them on fire, like so. And they will very much die fast. They still could, in theory, kill us. Melee enemies, not so much, really. I will probably get the stun duration to about 2 seconds. And then delay that. Yeah, we are getting strong, but not because of fire, honestly. We are only surviving this far because Elementalist makes us tanky. Excuse me, Mr. Bat. Yeah, can you touch the fire and then instantly die? Let's get the stun duration to 2 seconds, about. Just so that most enemies die before they are unstunned. You know? We can walk on the bog without consequences. Such a weird... Yeah, the main issue with fire is that you cannot really increase its radius. Which by this point, I very much call it a radius. Because it is very much a radius, you know? That enemy died to the bog. Which is sad. Same with that enemy. I have a very strong tool at dealing with bosses. But you know what else is a very strong tool to deal with bosses? The bog that is present in literally every run. For every wave past the first wave. You know what? Yeah. I have an idea. Might be a very questionable idea. But my current idea is to use lightning to pull enemies in. We have a few waves in order to do that. To get enough boosts. But honestly, we might do this. We might be able to do it. Because we are elementalists, and everything is possible in elementalist. We want basically to not upgrade lightning damage. We want to upgrade lightning radius a lot. And to downgrade lightning knockback to a number that's negative. We don't care that much about charges anymore. We barely ever run out of charges. We run out of things within our radius and perhaps our fires. Yeah. Perhaps our fires are put out by the simple nature of themselves. But... yeah, fine. Honestly, I don't think we need more distance, but let's keep it there for now. Sadly, we cannot change Gaia's Thorn knockback. If we could, then it would be perfect. Like, we could use Gaia's Thorn knockback in order to pull enemies into our radiuses. And do you realize that without being able to increase the range, lowering your speed is even a bigger issue? Because we need to get to those snipers specifically. Most of the other enemies we can basically avoid a little bit and hope that they walk into the fire for some reason. But that's not the case for snipers. You know? That is very much not the case for snipers. Anyway. Yeah, at least the run is going okay-ish. Again, we'll need more tankability soon, because the numbers are starting to get into scary territory. You know? We are really getting into scary territory. Right now. Yeah, let's get more stun duration. But that's fine. Ouch. There we go. An extra boost. Let me take it. Thank you, video game, for letting me take it. Eventually, these lightnings will be enough to do something. Right now, they very much are not. I have enough damage, controversial opinion. What I do not have right now is survivability. Lightning radius. Let's get armor, honestly. This is a tanky build with fire. You know, we are tanking with fire. More speed is always nice in this build. Unless, honestly, I believe the shovel build and this build before getting... Actually, perhaps an assassin also wants to avoid getting more speed sometimes. The assassin class gets too much speed in this game. Yeah, way too much. We don't really need any of this here that we got here. That's fine. Perhaps a very good legendary is able to save us. I have no idea of what that legendary might sound like, because I cannot think of something that might make us able to beat the final 3 waves. Perhaps, actually, perhaps Holy Firewall, or, you know, so we can have the Blasphemous Firewall, that perhaps that thing it can help us. But honestly, that also creates a problem, because many of my things will be being used, many of my fire things will be basically allocated to deal with projectiles, and then my fire rings will get less effective at dealing with enemies in general. So melee enemies will be a lot more dangerous. I do not know. If I'm offered Blasphemous Firewall, I'm taking it. You know? But perhaps a split. The thing is, we also need other things. It is very hard to play this build. You know? We'll probably just need to get good and avoid every projectile that can kill us. That is a possibility, actually. Getting good. Actually, not getting good, but needing to get good. Oyster. Excuse me, Oyster. Could you walk into a fire, because I'm not getting near you anytime soon, at least. I believe... Yeah, I believe Oyster walked into a fire already, so it is dead, yes. Thankfully, my distance is a very high number. Piercing projectile, this is a thing that might do something, right? Because now my projectiles will take a very long time to be destroyed. I will need, however, to get good and avoid most projectiles, but I am somewhat resistant to melee options from the enemies. And I can create a ring big enough that most enemies cannot... Like, I can go there to the edge and put a thing so that more enemies will not... Yeah, the piercing projectile is just saving my life right now. The piercing projectile is just king. Great. I will actually remove that. No, actually removing it by this point. So the piercing projectile makes my build a lot more safe. I only need to deal with some enemies. Not all of them. I am lagging a lot right now. am dying a lot right now. Oof. Okay, but I can basically create a perimeter where where enemies cannot cross. Otherwise, they're dead. A wall, I might say. Oh, there are enemies here. And then I will use that perimeter, that wall. So I need to build this wall. I will build it vertically first. Yeah. So I have more space to dodge. I will then... I died. Oof. Yeah. That was hard. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be uploading this because I thought it was funny and interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.